Hello and welcome. All right, let's just dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about an app that, well, millions of us use every single day, but that can also be a huge digital headache: Messenger. We're going to explore what exactly makes it so frustrating, and then we're going to look at a pretty brilliant student-led redesign that puts empathy right at the heart of the whole thing.
I mean, seriously, have you ever felt this? You open it just to reply to one person, and suddenly you're wading through this sea of notifications and stories and all kinds of distractions. If you've ever felt like your messaging app is actively working against you, trust me, you are not alone.
So, first up, let's actually put a name to the problem, right? We're calling it the Messenger mess. And honestly, it's the perfect title for all those little everyday frustrations we're about to break down.
Does this list look a little familiar? Yeah, I thought so. Important messages from your family? They get totally lost in a dozen noisy group chats. Those stories and ads are in a constant battle for your attention. And oh man, trying to find an old photo or a conversation from last month, good luck with that. It feels like a digital obstacle course just to have a simple chat.
Now, here's what's so interesting about this. That feeling of frustration, it isn't random. It's not just, a vague feeling. It is the direct result of some really fundamental rules of good design being ignored or, well, just plain broken.
And let me just say that again, because this is the core idea of this entire explainer. It's not you, it's the design. All that confusion and the clutter that you feel, those are direct symptoms of very specific design flaws.
This table really shows that direct connection. So when you can't even tell what's new, that's a classic design flaw called poor visibility of system status. When you feel like you have zero power to organize your own chats, that's a lack of user control and freedom. See, these aren't just buzzwords. They're the real reasons the app feels like such a chore to use.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. Now, let's pivot to the fun part, the solution. We're going to look at a redesign concept that is built from the ground up around focus and fixing these exact issues.
Just imagine that for a second. An app that actually respects your attention. An app that helps you connect with the people you care about without throwing a dozen other things in your face. Well, that's the whole goal of this redesign.
So how do we get to that calmer, cleaner Messenger? Well, it's not about just one big change. It's about a whole series of smart, targeted features, each one designed to solve the real-world problems we just talked about.
Here they are, the 6 key steps proposed in this redesign. Every single one is a direct answer to a point of frustration. We're going to zoom in on a couple of the most powerful ones right now.
First up, the priority inbox. This one directly solves that buried message problem we all have. It literally creates a dedicated, quiet space just for the conversations that actually matter to you, separating them from all the chaos. It's simple, but wow, is it effective.
And then there's this one. This might be my personal favorite, focus mode. Think of it like a switch for your sanity. You tap it once and all the stories, all the ads, all the suggested contacts, they just poof, they disappear. It hands the control of your attention right back to you, which is exactly where it belongs.
And just look at the difference. On the left, it's a total battle for your eyeballs. On the right, it's calm, it's clean, it's just your conversations. This right here is what design that respects you, the user, looks like in action. It's not about removing features, it's about giving you the power to choose when you see them.
So let's bring it all full circle. This table just closes the loop perfectly. Remember those broken design principles from the beginning? Well, this redesign fixes them one by one. Clear, unread indicators provide that visibility. A uniform layout creates consistency. And features like pinning and color coding give you flexibility and efficiency. Every single solution is directly tied to a problem. So satisfying.
So who came up with this thoughtful, really user-focused solution? It wasn't some multi-million-dollar design firm. This entire concept was the incredible work of a group of computer science students.
So a huge shout out is in order to Sheila May L. DeGala, Baby Jane P. Marshall, Jim B. Esquera, and TJ Hans C. Diaz. They're all from the Computer Science 2-3 section. These are the folks who applied these principles of empathy to imagine a better, more human version of an app we all use every day. Just fantastic work.
And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As you go about your day, maybe take a look at the other apps on your phone. Which ones feel just as cluttered? Which ones are constantly fighting for your attention? And what would an empathy redesign look like for them? It's a great question to ask. Thanks for tuning in.